I care that you're going up there, weirdly. I wonder if I could go up there. Click, click, click. No.
Nope.
Urgh.
Say apple. Hope people know what I'm talking about.
A choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay,
right.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with that counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
What about this door? Yeah, it's good.
The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Oh, that's cool!
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is?
Oh, this is
It's
nice.
all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
Oh, okay.
It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank
Where are we
simply
right
because
now?
it's written
Like,
here on this thing.
Under 5th, it says narrator
Oh.
forgets about previous restart.
Well,
Oh, okay.
who consulted
Wait,
me?
what happens
Why
next?
don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a
prevented.
say in all of this?
Okay.
Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do happen to have...
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
Clock is the same.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You saw someone play this and they found what ending?
They got, like, I won't say what happened exactly,
okay.
but they got into that room where it's like, oh, spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Like, they got into the right way. I guess they just played the game the right way.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Should I go left this time?
I don't know. Oh, too late now.
Well, I kind of want to see what's over here.
Yep. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
You most of all.
Quarterly
Work
we need
harder, hard worker.
for the death sport portion.
I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers. More water cooler heaters.
Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Teenagers. Size of demographic.
A lot of percent. Space between the teenagers.
Alright.
Okay.
This is interesting. Let's just take a look at a few more of these things. Not cost efficient to stand.
Who moved my desk? Just papers.
Tomorrow, complete the day's unfinished. Okay. Oh, there's a guy named Jim.
Huh. Who's Jim? Where did we
There's
find Jim?
Board of bingo. For a meeting schedule.
Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager.
Okay, cool. This meeting room's got meeting stuff in it. I go to meetings sometimes.
We do.
I don't do much in those meetings.
Coming to a staircase,
Yes.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Stanley walked downstairs to the red room. Stanley hid behind the stairs. Fire holes. Car, another car with lights
But
on.
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Uh-oh.
He imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun,
Whoa.
and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
People are
that this
getting
was
sick
a dream.
watching this.
So he closed his eyes gently,
Oh,
and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I'm okay.
All right.
I'm not okay.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Jeez.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
The end is never the end. It's never the end.
Alright. That was great.
Okay.
Let's take a break. See you next time.
GameForBrains.